Good morning, everybody. What an incredible morning. It has been entirely in 950 years, complete secrecy of the Privy Council since the age of empires, always secret, never made public. But today, for the first time, upon the death of a royal monarch, for the first time ever, live Privy Council in full display of Crown customary law. Crown customary law that is codified and constitutionally bound to Canada forever and a day. What does that mean? Why is that important to understand? When you give your politicians titles, honorary titles like Lord, Worship, Highness, and on and on and on, you're defining them in absolute divinity. It's like having a child, and if you keep calling them an idiot, a no good, a savage, what kind of child are you going to raise? The reverse is the same with societies and countries in the year 2022 that actually define their politicians on high as Lord, Worship, Highness. We can go on and on. There are many Crown customary law titles defined explicitly, codified with serious autocratic powers. You can take Vladimir Putin and you can put him and his regime on steroids, and that defines absolutely the power, the prestige you place on your politicians. Institutionalization, I talk about it all the time. It has been over 950 years that nothing's ever been made public, let alone televised. Absolutely 70 years ago, King George VI passed on, and none of it was made public. It was all behind Privy Council chamber doors. You don't hear any of the talk you heard today live for the whole Commonwealth. Exactly as I've defined for all of my friends and followers for many years of my narrative of CCP, and then PCC, Party of the Canadian Constitutionalists. Big C, little c, constitutionalism. Big C is the codification, written word of how you're to be governed. Absolutely accountability and rules of governance that do not exist in the realm, in the Commonwealth, or any constitutional monarchies. What is codified is a divine class of elites who rule over you in the title of Lord, Majesty, Highness, and on, Worship, Master. We can go on and on. You, the people, are subjects of such. Subjects that aren't even codified in your constitution, meaning you're not even in the highest laws of your land because you don't matter. On display fully for the first time in the history of constitutional monarchies and monarchies in general. For the first time today, this morning, full display, your lords met, your lords spoke out to all of you, the subjects. And of course you, sadly, the savages who've been destroyed inside such realms, such highness, such majesty. Here we are, 2022, and how many radicals and freaks on all social media, on all Canadian media that had to remove comments. They had to shut off comments. Global, CTV, CBC had to shut down all comments as soon as the comments from real normal people like myself and many of you say, why am I calling somebody divine? Why am I giving someone a title like that? We talk about institutionalization. If I called my child dumb, no good, dirty, savage, loser, idiot, moron, day after day after day after day, how many weeks as a parent or a person of authority until that child believes it? How long does it take? How many years? Come on, people, tell me. Do you think that if I did that to my children, what kind of child will I raise? Now think about it in reverse. If I call somebody Lord, Highness, worship, think about it. How long does it take until their mind says, I am a superior human being, divine, I am a Lord God over all of you, the savages and the subjects. I define myself the way you tell me every day I am this. How long until I become a superior in my own delusional mind? How long does people tell me that over and over every day I show up until I believe it? How long does it take? Folks, please explain it to me. Why the heck are we all so blind in this world today to define something like that? Codify it in constitutional highest authority of the land. Why do we do it? Why is that normal? Why do we celebrate it? And why do we then go, oh, why is our government lunatic? Why are all these bad things happening in the world? Because you've defined a class of people as superior human beings. If you haven't figured it out, it's what led to Hitler. It's what led to Imperial Japan. It's what led to Spain, Portugal, France, UK, all of the colonial nut jobs that ravaged this world like never in any human history before it. Besides other nutcase crown colonials of the very distant past, Egypt, Rome, defining people as slaves, defining people as savages, not worth a shit on boots. And someone in their delusional mind, I am of God, God gave me this power. A massive fucking narcissism. And we wonder why there's a global new world order? Folks, it all starts in your constitutional design, 950 years old. The idea that you would define human beings as gods. Many of you from many religions, how can you do that? Oh, it's just words. Jesus Christ lived his life for those majority of Canadians, apparently. You say you're of Christian faith, whether New Testament, Old Testament combined or not. When you say Christian, you say Christ. Where in his life did he teach you any of this? Where in anything written on Jesus Christ by those who are actually with him in his life can you find something where he says this is a good idea? In any example, in any teaching, in any historical writings, or in the Bible, where can you publish that for me? Because I've read the Bible. I've read every single writing about him in his time by those around him, and I have not found anything that supports any delusion of that kind of truth. Which brings me on to anti-vax and the lunatic left or radical right extremists. And we're going to get into what I published from Israel, from the University of Tel Aviv, recognized by NIH out of India, recognized World Global Medical. then on to WHO, World Health Organization, on to the FDA itself, Federal Drug Administration, USA. Why is it that lunatic leftists in their science throughout the whole pandemic, I'm going to say this, the vaccines are not poison, they're not toxic, they're not designed to kill massive populations. Sorry, I've had 3 shots, nothing's happened to me. Sorry to burst ultra-right extremist bubble. I'm not dead. I don't have wild cancers. My heart didn't explode. I know a lot of absolute radicals would love for that to happen. Unfortunately, in all my years of hard work as a subject of the crown, my 12 to 16-hour days, working in nuclear reactors, toxic environments, paying massive taxes. I'm sorry, everybody, I'm not dead yet. Don't worry. My life expectancy's probably, if I'm lucky, 65. My predecessors in my trade, average life expectancy 58. Welcome to being a dirty son of a bitch who worked his whole life for the socialist principles of everybody else. Man, wow, just like my father and his father before him, eh? Wow, both my grandfathers never made it to 60 years old. God bless my father. He's hit his 70s, still going. Some medical problems. I'm sure they're going to hit me too. Maybe technology's better, but I'm certainly statistically not to make it anywhere near a whole lot of these divine socialists, these lunatics from the left, these extremists from the right, who champion some of the most cruel and unusual fabrication of lies. And I get into this because Israel, Tel Aviv, 2 antibodies present in my blood. Oh yes, I beat COVID-19. 3 shots, 2 and a booster that didn't really take care of business, folks. My immune system did. No, my immune system hasn't been transformed. Sorry, I'm not dead from the shots like so many would like to happen. I don't know who comes up with that in their mental fuckhead, who posts stuff like that. And you say you're Christian. I can tell you right now, you will burn in your hell according to your doctrine that you profess. In the name of Jesus, you talk like that? When you reach those pearly gates you profess to exist, do you think Christ's going to look at you and say, that was very appropriate how you behaved and acted and the things you said? That's Jesus, all right. Or is he going to go, hey, you sound a lot like that guy I talked about, you know, the one down there, absolute opposite of love, respect, fellowship of man that I taught my entire life. What do you think he would say? He would shed tears for your soul. He would not be standing there clapping for you. He wouldn't. Just as the lunatic left, because I've been hit with both of them. So lunatic left comes on and I'm a radical, I'm an extremist, and my followers, a lot of you are nuts and you lie, you make up stories. Tel Aviv, those antibodies, I've said, as the government knows, we are endemic. December 26, 2021. Your UK, the whole post of this, your crown that your politicians divinely incorporate with themselves on highest, lords over all of you, follow that to a T. The UK itself out of Malta, blood vials from the AIDS epidemic. They went through every wave of COVID-19. Oh, what did they discover? Every single set fully infected at the same rate. Meaning we've all had COVID many times, folks. Sorry to burst your bubble. Sorry, I know this is going to really suck. 99.7% of you produce the 2 antibodies you need that absolutely end COVID-19. Now, hear me out when I say this. So they've discovered them, they know. But there's that point percentage of the population, which is huge. 38 million people, do the math. You're literally looking at almost 1 million people who are susceptible, depending on how their health goes, to COVID-19. It is a big number. It's a little bit more than the flu. But with these antibodies that they don't possess, or by nature of their other diseases, or by nature of the status of their health, meaning they have immune blockers because they have taken in transplants or other issues that require them to take suppressants, they won't produce those antibodies. So, discovering the two antibodies in most of our population, it took years. That's science. They can now spin out a synthesized drug that will take care of COVID for a vast amount of those compromised or unable to naturally produce those antibodies, meaning multiple vaccines and boosters are going to be rendered ineffective. Lunatic leftists, your science, your same studies that led through the pandemic, that manufactured and made us take vaccines, now saying, well, we've got to the point we've isolated the two antibodies. It won't be long before we won't need shots anymore for those susceptible. I don't subscribe to mandating anything to anybody. I don't. I only share the truth. I don't share lies. If you want to lie, you want to tell bullshit stories and go on, take my intellectual knowledge or things I present to you and twist them into your own fabrication, go ahead. You want to denounce it, lie about it, that's your choice. I can't stop you. But don't use me to do it. That's for the lunatic leftists. That's for the radical right extremists. I don't give a fuck. I give you the truth as it happens as we go through this. How you want to twist that into your own bullshit, either side of the equation, I don't subscribe to any of you. The worst, though, is the lunatic leftist. You would deny the science you swore by, empowering you in all your lunatic narratives to be extreme on a percentage of the population that you hate. And when the science comes forward, the same science, same source, with a narrative that doesn't suit you, you deny it, making you worse than the village idiot, the maroon, the ignoramus who makes it up because you knew and you went the other way. You chose to ignore the science you professed was absolute. And when the science now says, you say the science is no good. I don't subscribe to that shit. I don't subscribe to you. Post your shit on my stuff, but don't share me out. Don't use what I present for your narrative and say it's me, because that don't work for me. I don't care what any of you do. Take the intellectual property. It's a gift for all Canadians. If you haven't been paying attention today, live Crown Customary Law, Lords over men and women, exposed Privy Council live. Charles, let it be televised. Perfect. There's Crown Customary Law. No, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, and whomever you elect Prime Minister, is Lord Highest. Your Lord Highest. Think about that. It's 2022. Who the fuck thinks it's a good idea to name somebody in a position of power Lord Highest? Are you handicapped mentally? I wouldn't say. I would say institutionalized. You've been programmed to think that that's normal. Can you imagine an American going, yep, Joe Biden, he's my Lord Highest? That's your legal system. Think about that, Canadians. Proven, published live at the UK for everybody to see. Justin Trudeau standing there with his little boy as they have Mr. Dress Up with the Book of Divinity. The Book of Divinity in Canada. Did you know that? That was televised live for you. He's standing there holding the Book of Divinity. That's its name. That's its Latin name. Do you like that? The Book of Divinity. You know what divine means, right? There's your Lord, your Savior, your God, King Charles III. Ascension Day, Book of Divinity. That's normal. Oh, come on. It's just words. It's just the highest laws of Canada. It's just words. It's just words. Don't worry about it. How many times do you say those words until you believe it? Just like, how many times can I call my kid an idiot, a no good, a son of a bitch? And will he grow up to be a no good son of a bitch in society? Chances are greatly yes. We all know this, but then in the reverse, it's normal to have books of divinity. It's good to call Lord highest Prime Minister, and all your MLAs, they should be lords over all of you. Your Premier is Lord highest too. All his MLAs, doesn't matter the party, all lords. And we can keep going. Judges and worship, mayorals, worship. We can go through the Crown Customary Law, the unwritten law, the secret Privy Council laws of Canada, codified in your highest constitution. They put honorary's honor, and they translate in UK law, they translate into those words, which they speak in private chamber, not public. But today, for whatever reason, for the first time televised, you get to listen to Lord President of Council, Lord. Address all of you, and they write it in there like, it's normal, it's normal. That's how much power the monarchy's regained in this world. Joe Biden's drunk with it. We've poisoned America. We're poisoning the world. Old world order, not new world order. Nothing new about it. It's not a conspiracy, it's reality. They're so confident now, they're displaying it for you after 70 years, triumphantly in your face, 2022. You don't think we're institutionalized? You don't see a pattern here? You don't see how things are moving away from the victorious allies of World War II? We're almost right back to where we started in the 30s. And the Great Depression coming for Canada, New Zealand, and Australia in housing and immigration alone is nearly here. We're just a few short years off it. Mortgage renewals coming. We just jumped up another 0.75% in our interest rates. Transition of Charles III. Total cost over 5 years, the equivalent of 5 Alberta equalization payments just for His Majesty King Charles in Canada. That's the cost. That's the cost. And people say, no, what do you mean? How do you come up with those numbers? I publish literal truths, how many 20s are in circulation. They will roll that picture out. They will add all those 20s. Pierre Poilievre has already stated it. My king, my highest, oh, let me be Lord highest of Canada. Sponsor me. I will print your face on the bills. I will spend no less than $20 billion on the backs of my subjects, completely opposite of what he professes to be. Many people are seeing it. You can see the comments. You can see the comments on social media. People are waking up. The guy's a fucking fraud. He's Trudeau 2.0. You elect Trudeau, you elect him, it don't matter. Jagmeet Singh, Yves Blanchette, Elizabeth May, we can go on and on. All your premiers, I'm conservative, I'm liberal, I'm NDP, I'm Quackadock-Doo. Because the reality is, they're all crown. All crown. All superior individuals who have reached and ascended to their divinity, and you are the savages or the slaves. If you swear your oath to them and you bend your knee and you take them in all their glory, well, then you could be ascended up there too. In the pyramid, there's only enough room at the top for only a small handful. And even all those ass kissers that are fortunate to make it to second class, be ready, because you're not first. And at any time, they will cut you down. They won't lose an ounce of sleep over it. And you better have the money. You better have the money to suck hole real good. Because there's the rich, wealthy, elite globalists, most from the UK, that will overpower you and you'll get cut down. It happens all the time. If you haven't been paying attention in the last 2 years of COVID, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. They change the rules like they change underwear. How can you run a business like that? Our foreign investments of our supposed closest allies have fled out of Canada. Why? They're tired of the crown. They're tired of the institutionalization. They don't want to play ball with you anymore. State powers of the divine elite. Nobody likes the boundaries changing. No one likes goalposts. Oh, they're over here. Nope, they're over there. Oh, no, that doesn't count. You know what it was like as a child playing with that kid? Keeps changing the rules so the game always works for them but not for you. You get to a point you don't want to play anymore. Now, as subjects, we have no choice. We've been conditioned. You must play the game, no matter how painful that game gets, no matter how much it isn't fun. And for all those institutionalized village maroons, idiots, and I watch the comments all over social media say, oh, this is the greatest country. Show me a better country. It's true. We're a great country, but why? Oh, yeah, because we're massive. We have tremendous resources, and we have a tiny, tiny population. But when you factor all things equal and you combine it across the world, for that low amount of people here, we should be tremendously more wealthy. And I hate to tell you this, there's a heck of a lot of countries with a lot less doing tremendously better than you. USA, they're a smaller country, nearly 10 times the population. Why on average is the average American doing better than you, the average Canadian? And never mind the American Indian versus the Canadian First Peoples. You don't even want to know those stats. That is truth. That is truth. Every country in the world tells all its people, we're the best, we're the best, remember we're the best. Everybody else is shit. Every country will tell you that. Every government propagates the same thing, whether it's true or not. And I'm sorry, but by the numbers, it's not true for Canada. Sure, a lot of people doing well. But did you do as well as your parents? What about your grandparents? What about your great-grandparents, if you have that lineage? Because I know I can look back. What my ancestors who couldn't even speak English were able to do with a heck of a lot less is tremendously more than my son could do, who's probably more focused than I was at his age, and yet he can't generate nowhere near what I generated in my time. Nowhere near what I generated. Is it because he's lazy? Is it because he spends foolishly? No. Like I said, financially he's more responsible than I was at his age. Yet I had tremendously more. Why is that? Because the cost of living only increases. The disproportionate debt imposed on every single incoming generation only grows exponentially. When I say that, exponentially. And if you follow every single election federally, exponential line, every 4 years, the next one doubles down on the previous one. You're filthy, low-life, degenerate politicians. Call them conservative, call them liberal. They don't look on paper and financially any different, none whatsoever, except for rape, pillage, and plunder you, the subjects, and God help you, the poor savages. That's what they do each and every 4 years. It only grows, balloons, and gets worse. Not hard to figure out on that exponential timeline how long you guys have left. I'm sorry. Could it be fixed overnight? Absolutely. There's an untapped $26 trillion for all Canadian subjects and all Canadian First Peoples. Easily done. Honestly, 3 to 6 months. Easily done. But do you think they'll give up their crown? Not on all your lives. Not on all your lives. They will fight tooth and nail. Pierre Poilievre was the first to jump down on his knees. God save the King Charles III. Give me the crown. I will honor you. I will spare no expense of the subjects. I will execute and dismember as many savages as it takes to honor you. I am a globalist elite. I want the crown. All your premiers, too. Justin Trudeau, right away. He's there today with his son standing there. King Charles III, I will spare no expense of my subjects. They will suffer like never before. Literally between Pierre Poilievre and Justin Trudeau, you will see 0.875% interest rate increases just on the transformation of Her Highness Elizabeth in Canada in all its entirety to His Majesty King Charles. Just to make that transformation and the honoraries out there. And if anyone wants to know where I get the numbers, go back to 1952. Go look at the epic costs in all narratives from King George VI to Queen Elizabeth II. 70 years, and go look at the transformation. Work out the costs, and you will find out how much it will cost you over the next 5 years. Absolutely insane. 5 years, 5 Alberta-sized equalization payments in transforming the crown in Canada. I don't know about all of you, but I could spend that money way better and way more efficient, effective things. I don't need to call somebody Lord, Highness. I don't need a glory of some divine human being over me. But, what do I know or say, right? I'm just a filthy, no-good working son of a bitch who pays astronomical amounts of taxes, no taxation with representation. And like my father and his father before him, my life expectancy is extremely low. But hey, I'm a slave, right? I'm not a worthy citizen. How dare I say a word against the crown? Pay your fucking taxes, shut your fucking mouth. Who cares about you? Divide and conquer, split people, call it left and right, come up with all these radical narratives, made up stories and crazy extremes that come from one fucking source. Forever and a day, the crown. If you don't know where all this radicalism and lunatic comes from, it comes from the UK and the crown. It's engineered. It's been engineered for 950 years. Always radical extreme fictions crafted by the crown to keep you all stupid, dumbed down, at each other's throats, making up stories, because facing the real truth is too hard to bear. Remember, you're an idiot, a no good, a nothing, never gonna be. Remember that. So repeat after me. Keep telling yourself that, right? Tell your children that. And remember, call them His Highness, His Majesty, my Lord, my Superior. Keep saying it. Soon you'll believe it, right? God save the King, my ass. That's my video. A lot of harsh words in there, a lot of harsh truths. People don't like the truth. Take it for what it is. Share it if you're brave enough. If you're not, know what to tell you. Unbelievable crown customary law. For the first time in the history of the British Empire was that made public, let alone on video recorded forever and a day. You can go back through if you haven't seen it. My lords, and the Privy Council made public. Remember, Canadians, that's exact same thing. There's a Canadian Privy Council. There's a whole Lord system there too. Worship, highness, goes on and on. There's many words. All in divinity. There's the book of divinity showed to you all today. The book of divinity. Did you see dress up? Like, is that cuckoo or what? It's like cult-like, right? We're in 2022. Normal people would say, Americans would be like, what the fuck is that? It was made available. Oh, it's just words, right? My Lord, it's just a word. Your Highness, Your Majesty. Jason Kenney's not my Lord. Justin Trudeau is certainly not my Lord. Highest. I get down on my knees for you. Institutionalization. And it's codified in the highest laws of Canada. None of you exist there, not you the savages either. And the next guy who pulls out the one-page charter of your 212-paged codified constitution like that's gospel, bang, upside the head. What's wrong with you? Oh, yeah, you're institutionalized. Oh, yeah, the Crown put this propaganda into you. Because heaven forbid you read the other 211 pages, right? Today I got to work on this truck. There's a whole system to put all the front end back together. Do you think I can read one page and go, oh, yeah, that'll work, and skip all the rest of the steps? No. No, not if I don't want a major breakdown. This is what the Crown does to all of you. What kind of country has the mass population who doesn't even know, in literally 99%, that their rules of governance are 212 pages? You go to the States or Russia, they all have their constitutions, even have their state constitution. They learn it in school from a little age. Rehearsed, practiced. You know, when you go for citizenship in the States, people say, it's hard to get citizenship in the States. You have to go through all this process, all this massive process, and then you got to take a citizenship test, and you have to know civics. I don't want to do it. I want it like Canada, where I bend the knee, swear an oath of allegiance, and I'm a citizen, a subject. I don't have to read the Constitution. All I have to do is be taxed without representation and assume my place as a piece of shit who gives nearly half my income to the government and keep a zipped lip and let the government regulate, mandate me, abuse my children, kill my fellow citizens, commit horrific atrocities, and I better shut up. I'm just a filthy, no good working class asshole, and how dare I bitch? How dare I bitch about my life expectancy, about the shit quality, and the health deteriorated? I should be happy. I haven't paid enough. I'm a selfish son of a bitch, like my father, my grandfather, my great-grandfather, as my mother, my grandmother, my great-grandmother before her, and on and on. It ain't getting easier, folks. You all know it. Search your souls. That's my video. Share, share, share. I had to do it. I don't want to do it. I got work to do. I'm going to Florida. It's coming sooner than later. But this was a special day. It's been a crazy week. I can't believe it. And Crown Customary Law published for the first time live, ever, for the whole world to see. Well, at least in the Commonwealth. But they're so confident that none of you can wake up to it, that you just accept that. Yep, that's my Lord. That's my Lord. Justin Trudeau, he's my Lord. My Lord highest. Wow. Share if you're not the village idiot. Share if you're not a fool. Share if you're tired, just tired of the pure hypocrisy and autocracy. Share if you don't want to see old world order become your new world order reality. Share if you're an ally of World War II and you understand freedom, you really understand freedom. Share if you're not institutionalized. this video doesn't find you well, you know what? I don't care. That's the sad truth of institutionalization. We're not the great country everybody professes. If you haven't been reading comments all the way through the death of Queen Elizabeth to the ascension of King Charles III, wow, what an extreme range. What a putrid country we truly are in. It is terrifying. It's scary. The media was even ordered to turn off all commenting on most of it because people start hammering it home. And there's so many extremes one way to the other. So many stages of institutionalization or extreme rebellion, and people don't know the narratives. They're so programmed, so abused, they don't even know how to get it right. There's so many pitfalls, and I get that. But don't sell your soul. Don't sell your soul. Don't shit on your fellow man. It's a pyramid scheme. It's your government. Go to your government. That's where you find the root of all evil. That's my video. Bye now.